Um, yeah, I'm here on behalf of the defendant, Jamil Lockhart, and you're making a special appearance.
All right, well, you gotta make your special appearance to the Wayne County Jail. I told you that.
It looks like someone thought ignoring a court order was a smart move. Welcome back to today's video as we return to Judge Perkins' courtroom to revisit Jamil of the so-called family Lockhart, a familiar name on this channel. Last time, the judge ordered him to serve 30 days in the Wayne County Jail for clear contempt of court, but instead of turning himself in, he chose to disappear. That decision caught up with him fast, leaving him with an active bench warrant and a life on pause, including the inability to get a driver's license. Now that reality has set in, he's ready to move forward, but Judge Perkins has made it clear. Those 30 days come first.
Yeah, so I filed a notice of removal for all of these cases because I don't believe that this court is capable of acting in an unbiased way. But I mean, there's been no response from the city, but to this point, I mean, just the last court date we had, perjury was committed. I mean, you guys put on the record that I failed.
When the court called your name, you failed to appear as required. Instead, you tried to explain it away by claiming you were Jamil of the family Lockhart, a so-called flesh and blood living man acting as attorney-in-fact for the defendant, Jamil Lockhart. The court correctly rejected that argument because you are not a licensed attorney and cannot represent anyone but yourself. But let's be clear, that excuse wasn't even the real issue. What actually got you in trouble was your refusal to follow a direct court order and your deliberate attempt to play word games instead of taking responsibility.
You were ordered to do 30 days in the Wayne County Jail. You haven't showed up. You still haven't showed up. So you're still disobeying. No, let's not do this. This is how it started the last time. You're still disobeying the court's order, and you have to do 30 days. You have to present yourself to the Wayne County Jail. You have a warrant out for your arrest, and before we go over this other stuff, you got to go. You have to go to the Wayne County Jail. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I said what
I can increase the time if you can take to not be compliant.
Your Honor, I apologize for interrupting the proceedings. May I have a breakout room with this litigant, please, and thank you.
I don't know if he wants to speak to a lawyer, but he can if he needs to. He has that right to do so. You want to speak to the lawyer, Mr. Lockhart, or no?
Yeah.
At some point, you have to accept that advice only works on people willing to listen. You can explain the rules, lay out the facts, and even point directly at the consequences, but none of that matters if someone refuses to learn. Guidance isn't the problem here, stubbornness is. The court didn't fail you, the process didn't fail you, and reality didn't fail you. The only thing on display is a complete refusal to take responsibility, no matter how obvious the outcome is.
It's gonna go with Mr. Lockhart. So I don't know why he's still sitting here.
Well, Your Honor, if the court will allow, we would like to attempt resolution of the matters that are on the docket. So I would ask if the court could stay the contempt proceedings and allow him to handle these matters.
No. It's been well over a year. No. He's gonna have to go turn himself in, and we'll deal with it that way.
Your Honor, if the court could, just in the interest of justice and judicial economy, if he could resolve these matters, if he's still gonna have to do the 30 days in Wayne County Jail, if at time of sentencing, it could all be wrapped up together, just to not further delay his constitutional right to speedy trial?
He's delayed his rights. He's delayed his rights to a speedy trial.
And I do have a resolution, Your Honor.
No, I don't want to. I'm not even going to entertain it. That ship has sailed. We tried to give him that opportunity a long time ago. He kept being contemptuous in the court. He comes with these far out legal theories that he has that I quite frankly, don't know where he's coming from on that, no, I'm not gonna even entertain that with it.
And Your Honor, I completely understand the court's position. I completely understand if he still has to do the 30 days Wayne County Jail, but I think that he was potentially misguided, did not understand the finer points of the law, court rules, and courtroom behavior and procedure. So now that he has the assistance of counsel, which I'm not saying that he didn't have the assistance of counsel before, if the court would allow him.
We offered him counsel then. He denied the counsel. Go back and look at the video. It's got over 270.
Honestly, there's no reason to cut him any slack. From his very first appearance, his attitude toward the court was openly disrespectful, and that set the tone for everything that followed. When someone shows that level of contempt, they shouldn't be surprised when the judge responds accordingly. Judge Perkins is absolutely right here. Those 30 days need to be served before anything else happens. The underlying issues could have been resolved a long time ago, but his own behavior is what dragged this out for over a year.
To read up on the law and so he can make it and understand how this process goes. So go ahead to the Wayne County Jail. You can take some. They probably have some legal books there, and we'll hear these matters when you come out. So,
Your Honor, is any of this on the record or no? Or did we
no,
not? Okay.
no, it's not on the record because I didn't call the cases. I'm going to continue on. That appears to be Charles Gardner.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your Honor, am I allowed to go back in the breakout room to explain that to Mr. Lockhart? Because he seems to have had a change of heart if the court would allow him to at least.
Maybe he can go turn himself in and you can file an appeal, file something to get him heard before the court, and they can zoom in from the Wayne County Jail and we'll resolve it that way. But until he turns himself in, he's got a warrant out for his arrest. He's had this warrant out for I don't know how long. I can look back into the record, but and he's never presented himself. So he was contemptuous then. He continues to not follow or obey the court's orders. So he has to go do the time, or hire himself a lawyer to get it back in front of the court. But until we get the first matter resolved that we had, we're not going to get into the other matters.
The contempt proceedings arise out of these, his appearance in court. So he's still not allowed to just resolve these before he commits himself to the Wayne County Jail?
That's what I call the path of least advancement. Every time a sovereign citizen thinks they've made progress, they immediately undermine it by doubling down on bad arguments and worse decisions. One step forward is followed by multiple steps backward, all driven by stubbornness and fantasy rather than facts. Instead of learning from consequences, they repeat the same mistakes and act surprised when the outcome never changes. Progress requires accountability, and that's the one thing this mindset consistently refuses to accept.
Concluded, I still see Mr. Lockhart here. I don't know what else to do. What else you can do for him, Mrs. Harris?
So, Your Honor,
he continues to disobey the court order. Just continues to do so.
Your Honor, I dare not say, I don't know. I don't think that it's an intentional. Oh, I can't say that.
Wait a minute.
I don't think, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back. I think he has good intentions. I think he now has a better understanding of everything that has taken place.
I don't think so, because he came in here talking about he's appearing on behalf of the person Jameer Lockhart. So I think he's on the same path as
The apology only showed up once the reality of 30 days in jail became unavoidable. That's not remorse. That's regret over consequences finally setting in. If there were genuine accountability behind those words, he wouldn't have waited for a warrant or a blocked license to act. Real responsibility would have meant turning himself in immediately and facing the sentence without excuses. Owning your actions isn't about timing your apology, it's about doing the right thing before you're forced to.
At length in the breakout room, he understands what it would take to resolve his matters. He understands how he has to represent himself in court. And so I think he's in a position that he wants to resolve these matters. We've had the discussion. We asked for leniency and mercy from the court. I understand if the condition is that he still has to do 30 days in the Wayne County Jail, although we would ask if the court would reconsider that sentence now that he has taken the time to actually listen to advice of counsel and be made fully aware of how he should present himself in court. I know that it's his intention to resolve these matters without any further court appearances or draining any further resources or delaying the process anymore. And I know that the court doesn't want to delay the process any further. I understand his behavior is what put us in this position as of right now, but we're just hoping to resolve today if the court will allow.
I'm not moved. I gave him ample, it's a 27 plus, maybe 30 plus minute video. I gave him ample opportunity. You know, and I'm not moved.
I mean, Your Honor, in that video, I did apologize to you for, I guess,
He should have considered the consequences before choosing to disrespect the court in the first place. Court obligations don't become optional just because someone decides they're inconvenient. Whatever excuses he offers now don't outweigh the responsibility he ignored back then. When a judge orders you to appear, that takes priority over personal narratives and manufactured urgency. Acting like the rules don't apply is exactly how people end up in this situation to begin with.
I don't know what else I would apologize.
It's not, you still haven't showed up, and it's been over a year, and now you want me to have some sympathy for you and to resolve the matters. I have no sympathy for you at all.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to discuss. We tried to give you a fair opportunity to be heard. You keep spewing these legal theories that I've never heard of before, and I've given you an opportunity at that date to speak with the lawyer. You refuse that. You refuse all the opportunities I've given you. And you came in here another time a couple of months ago, and I told you we weren't going to hear it then. You got to go report to the Wayne County Jail.
Mm-hmm.
So you've had ample opportunity.
You'd have me go to jail.
So, on behalf of Jamil Lockhart, I do understand that, and I know the court he may hear this often, but he does have a family that he supports. It would be a great hardship on his family, his resources, and his sense of economy in terms of his job if he would have to submit himself to 30 days.
It's amazing how every sovereign citizen seems to physically cringe the moment they have to say their own name out loud. You'd think admitting your identity would be simple, but for some, it's a full display of discomfort and self-loathing. The theatrics aren't just funny, they reveal a deep insecurity about even participating in the most basic legal formalities. Acting tough or clever doesn't hide that hesitation. It just makes the weakness obvious. At the end of the day, refusing to face reality only magnifies the self-inflicted frustration.
The 30 days on the, he should have thought about that when I was asking him. I let him speak when I was asking him to not try to overtalk the court. Let me give him an opportunity to speak. He continued to disobey that. He should have thought about that then. There's a whole lot of people up in the penitentiary that have families that they take care of, and he's not going to the penitentiary. It's just county jail. So I'm just not moved.
Would this court consider amending it in such a way that he could only do weekends to complete his 30 days?
Yeah, but he hasn't even come to done anything. I'm not inclined to do anything for Mr. Jamir Lockhart or the person of Jamir Lockhart or whatever he wants to be called or however he wants to be described himself. Jamil Lockhart.
So, Your Honor, he has the matters that are set on the docket for today. He has presented himself to the court today.
Okay, you
Will
want
the
to
court
take?
allow-
We'll take off the warrant. We'll give him a pretrial date, and then he can go do his 30 days, and he can tell the sheriff in there that what his next court date is, and they can, or somebody can writ him out then. City of Detroit versus Jamil Amir Lockhart, case numbers SP 1247989, counts 1, 2, and 3. State of Michigan. Now the laws just don't apply to him. State of Michigan versus Jamil Amir Lockhart, case number SX 378-29611. Appearance for the record, please.
Sherika Harris, on behalf of Jamil Lockhart, sir, could you state the name of the person that you are representing on the record, please, or that you identify?
Do you know what his job really is? Right now, he's being paid to argue against you, to push the legal system in his direction, and to do it all while you sit there. If anyone deserves an apology, it's the taxpayers of Michigan, whose hard-earned money is wasted on proceedings stretched out by theatrics and defiance. This isn't just about you. It's about respecting the process that keeps society running. Turning court into a spectacle doesn't just harm yourself, it costs everyone else time, money, and patience.
So, sir, as we discussed, I think you would be better suited if you, 1, hire an attorney, 2, go to the Wayne County Jail and submit yourself so that your matters could be resolved. I understand that when you
Last
appear in
time
court, there's
I
different
checked,
attorneys.
he didn't want an attorney. And I guess you have gotten through to him a little bit. He changed it. He came in here appearing on behalf of the person, Jamir Lockhart. And then when he asked him to state his name, he came and he indicated that he was Jamir Lockhart now. So I don't know what he like I say.
I mean, if I could speak a little bit here. I don't know, Your Honor, I'm not a criminal. I just want to handle this, get this over with.
I didn't say you were a criminal, sir. I didn't listen.
No, I know you didn't.
I didn't say you were a criminal. As it stands now, these are allegations. So until there's an adjudication of either guilt or not guilt, that'll determine, whether you're a criminal or not. So I don't know. You got these allegations out here. So I didn't make that comment. You were a criminal.
Right. No, I'm not saying that you did. But I just want to handle this and, put this to rest. At this point, I feel like it's taken up.
Oh, how convenient. After derailing your own life with reckless decisions, suddenly you've decided it's acceptable to work with the state just to get a driver's license. All of a sudden, following rules is fine as long as it benefits you. Real consequences never stopped you before, but now you want access to freedom you've actively sabotaged. Life doesn't pause for poor choices, and trying to bend the system to fix your mess doesn't erase the chaos you created.
I served the city residents of the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan and whoever comes in here. So it doesn't take up my time. This is what we do.
Yeah. And continuing, I would just like to, get this over with, pay whatever fines need to be paid. I would like to have my license back. I can't rent a car when I travel. I would like to be able.
This isn't a game you get to watch from the sidelines with a soda and a grin. You acted recklessly in court, and reckless behavior always carries consequences. There's no shortcut, no easy exit, and no retroactive excuse that will erase your actions. Being disruptive and disrespectful in a courtroom has real, tangible costs. In your case, those costs come in the form of 30 full days behind bars, and that's exactly what you're going to face.
Last year, over a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I just want to resolve this. Whatever I owe for those offenses, I'm willing to pay, and it'll be done with this situation. I truthfully don't think it's your, mission to put people in jail that have not harmed anybody or committed any offense against, any actual live human being. I'm only guilty of speaking out of turn. And, I should have handled this differently. I can see that now, yeah, I really just want to get this whole situation rectified, and whatever the charges are that I need to pay, I'm willing to do that. And
I've encountered plenty of bad decisions before, but this one stands out. You do realize this entire exchange is being recorded, right? All a judge has to do is play that clip in court to expose the contradiction in your own words. You openly admitted this wasn't about civil liability or damages, which completely undercuts your position. When you talk yourself into a corner on the record, the consequences aren't speculation, they are inevitable.
Yeah,
Well,
based on the statements.
That being said, I don't think, based on everything that has happened, our history, the claim in federal court that I have.
All right, that wraps up today's video, and I want to hear what you think. Will Jamil of the family Lockhart finally man up and turn himself in to get this mess resolved? Is he going to skip jail but still show up for his September 22nd hearing? Or is he going to stubbornly refuse, pretending being a sovereign citizen with a questionable IQ makes him untouchable? Personally, I'm betting on the third option. He won't show until they drag him in. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit like. If not, hit dislike. But don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe with notifications so you don't miss the next courtroom chaos.